Beautiful divine beings of love and light, welcome to my channel. My name is Daniel, where I help people uplift their consciousness, raise their vibration, and step out of man-made doctrines of religion and separation mindsets that are keeping us in bondage. If it's your first time here, welcome. Today's video, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the parable. In Matthew 4:13-ish, Jesus says something like this. He says, if you don't understand this parable, you're not going to get any of them. If you don't understand what I'm saying in this parable, then you're not going to understand anything that I'm saying. He laid this out. He set the standard. He laid this out as the foundation for every other parable, every other thing that he was speaking about. And that is the parable of the sower. And if we truly get this, the parable of the sower, if we truly understand what he was saying, then not only are we going to understand all of the rest of what he was saying in scripture a lot better, but we're going to understand how we can create and manifest the realities that we prefer in life. The things that are in alignment with the spirit, the fruit of the spirit, the high vibrations, great emotional states, abundance coming in easily and effortlessly, wealth in your finances, wealth in your relationships, divine opportunities, just the flow and the ease of life. If we can get this, because Jesus was talking about quantum principles 2,000 years ago before quantum was even a thing. Got some kayakers coming up. It's pretty awesome. We are in fall here, as you can see. Edmonton, Canada, the beautiful river valley. Oh, she's hitting a rock. You crashed. So if we understand these parables that Jesus was talking about, the parable of the sower, then we can literally begin to manifest and create that which we prefer in life, the kingdom. We can bring the kingdom and make it on earth as it is in heaven, in and through our human experience. Okay? And so Jesus, the parable of the sower goes something like this. And this is really, really important. We need to get this because, you know, we talk a lot about sowing and reaping and manifesting our reality, but if we truly got this, then we would spend so much more awareness. We would pay our attention. We would pay attention to the way that we're thinking and feeling in our life a lot more, because we would actually quantitatively know that every trial, every setback, every junk that we're receiving and experiencing in our life is a result of our own hearts. Because as a person thinks in their heart, so are they. Above all else, guard your heart, because out of it flows the issues of life. It means all the issues that we got going on in our life right now are actually a result of that which we've been holding in our heart. Okay? We've learned about reaping and sowing. You know, if you give, it's going to be given back to you. If you punch somebody in the face, you know, you're going to get hit, kind of thing. But we haven't realized this. We've realized this on a physical level. We've realized this on a tangible physical level, that if you punch somebody in the face, they're probably going to react back to you and fight you. But we haven't realized this on an energetic standpoint, the way that we think and the way that we feel. That we're actually going to get back to us the vibrations that we're thinking and feeling. So we're taking this a step down. It's not just about behaviors anymore. It's about thinking. And see, this is what Jesus said. He said, you have heard it said, eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth. You know, if you punch someone, expect to be punched back. This was the law of the Old Testament. He was laying out the Newtonian worldview, the Newtonian physics of the law of cause and effect. If you punch somebody in the face, you're causing them, and there's going to be an effect back to you, and they're going to respond back to you. It's all physical. It was all behavioral oriented. It was all the natural carnal realm, because we couldn't understand spiritual and quantum concepts yet. Our consciousness at that time in history, even now we're coming into it, wasn't high enough yet to be able to discern and truly understand what was happening, okay? So we are moving into the high vibration realities. We are moving into things above. This is the age to come, okay? And so what is it? What is the age to come? What is this new, sorry, cut out there, but what is this high vibrational state of being? What is this new level of consciousness that is coming? It is not the Newtonian law of cause and effect, but it's what Jesus said. He said, you've heard it said, eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth. If somebody punches you in the face, you're gonna get that back to you, type thing. He said, don't, you know, like if you go and murder someone, you can expect the death penalty yourself, kind of thing. But he says, but I say to you, even if you hold in your heart hate towards someone, you've already committed murder upon them. Why was that? He wasn't saying you need to be more strict in a morality, clean yourself up program. What he was saying is the law of reaping and sowing from a quantum perspective. If the law of cause and effect is you go and you cause something and you hit somebody, and then the effect is they're going to come and hit you back. What he's saying is it's even deeper than that. Even if you think about hitting that person, you think about hitting that person and hating them, and you curse them in your heart, guess what? You're going to reap a circumstance down the road that is going to be the same effect coming back to you. So no longer do we need to even do actions to cause an effect. We're constantly reaping what we're sowing quantumly. We're constantly causing an effect. Okay, so the quantum model of reality is we're causing an effect just because we exist, just because we think and we feel. And so if we can rewire our brains and our hearts, and we can hold things that we truly want to have in our life, in our hearts, then simply because we exist, we are going to manifest everything that's in alignment with the kingdom, with the spirit, what we prefer in life: abundance, love, peace, joy, goodness, patience, everything we need. Okay, so Jesus said it like this. He said, a farmer goes out to sow some seed, and the farmer throws some seed down onto some hard ground. He throws it onto some rocky ground. He throws it onto some weedy ground. He throws it onto different soils, and you know, the hard ground, it comes and gets eaten up. The rocky ground, it springs up really quickly, but it didn't take root, and so it gets burned up in the sun. And the weedy ground, it begins to grow, and it grows up, but it gets choked out by the weeds and the thorns. But then some of the seed gets thrown onto good ground, and it produces after its kind 30, 60, and 100-fold. Okay, so there's 6 different outcomes that can happen, 6 different realities. Here's the thing: we have understood this by a religious lens. Okay, so in the church, we've thought the more you read your Bible, you're going to put that into your heart, and then you're going to get a harvest. Okay, we've just relegated the word, which actually means the malta in the Greek. It is so much more encompassing than just the Bible. That's not even a good translation of what the word is. The word is a vibration. The word is a frequency. The word is anything that creates after its own kind. Okay, so the word is like the word. What word? It's a vibration, man. It's a frequency vibration that when you hold that and plant that into your heart, whatever vibration it is, it's going to manifest that and grow after that. Okay, because at the quantum level of reality, the smallest level of energy, the things that we're thinking and the things that we feel are the things that are the word. Okay, it doesn't need to be the physical word, but when you read the physical Bible, it can bring revelation, it can bring enlightenment, it can bring peace and joy, and you hold that revelation that you're getting in your heart, and that vibration from that word is going to burst out, and it's going to happen. That's absolutely true, but it's not just when you're reading the Bible, it's when you're thinking, it's when you're walking down the street. It's, are you blessing or are you cursing people? Are you blessing or are you cursing yourself? Are you forgiving yourself? Are you loving yourself? Are you forgiving other people? It's all of these concepts. It's anything that you're thinking and feeling, because as a person thinks in their heart, so are they. Okay, and so we see here that there's different heart grounds, there's different soils by which the different word vibrations can go in. Okay, and so this is a picture of us going through a ton of different circumstances in life and having past programs. Some of the past programming we got made our heart hard. So some people have really hard heart from trauma. Some people's past programming made them worldly. So they have a lot of fleshly desires in their heart, a lot of rocks that aren't making room for anything else. Addictions, wanting certain carnal patterns in their life. And then the other one is some people are very, very after the things of the world. They have a lot of their energy in a lot of different places, and they're trying to do things in a certain way, and this is the weeds. This is the weeds that are coming up that are choking the new programs of love, of peace, of joy, of manifesting abundance, of having manifesting a relationship, of having your dream job, of whatever it is. You trying to plant all these new things in, but you're trying to plant it into a weedy heart from your past programming. You're trying to manifest your dream life, but you're trying to plant it into a stony heart, into a rocky heart. And there's all this other crap in there that is hindering those new good vibrations of that you want, of the peace, of the joy, of the abundance, of whatever you want to happen in your life, and it's being blocked by your old programming. Okay, so Jesus is saying we need to clean out the rocks, we need to clean out the weeds, we need to have a pure heart that can bear fruit of 30, 60, 100-fold vibration back to you. Okay, so this is very, very important, because if we truly realized with real eyes, and we truly saw, because Jesus said, having eyes they do not see and ears do they not hear. Those who have ears to hear and eyes to see, let them see. He was talking about the spiritual quantum reality beyond. He was talking about the new life vibration. He was talking about the river of life, okay? So this river of life is within us, and we need to be able to hold our attention on something long enough to be able to heal it and clean out the rocks and the weeds and the junk. And we can talk about that. I have so many videos about healing soul splits, healing heart issues, healing all that stuff. Go check out four steps to heal soul wounds, okay? That is one half of the coin, okay? Half of the coin is clearing out the old junk of your heart, the rocks, the weeds, the bullshit in the garden that you don't want. And the other half is planting new good seeds. It's easy to begin to plant new good seeds. We just think thoughts, and we begin to cultivate gratitude practice. And you begin to feel really good about yourself. And you begin to go, man, it feels so good to be alive. Thank you, Father. It feels so good that I've got $1 million in my bank account and that it just came easily and effortlessly. Thank you so much that I have a dream marriage and my life is just so amazing. And you feel it and you visualize it and you create it. That's one side of the coin, and that's great. But if you keep doing that with the old programming in your heart that says no matter how hard I try, I'm always going to fail, that says I'm a loser, that says I'm not good enough, that says I'm unworthy, that says whatever, that says I need to work really hard and strive really hard to get the things that I want in life, guess what? You are coming up against the rocks and the weeds and the hard ground, and it's not going to bear fruit, because those vibrations, those seeds of consciousness, those quantum seeds of thoughts and feelings aren't able to penetrate and grow up in your heart, because your heart is not clean. It's full of bullshit. So what you have to do is you have to clean out your heart. How do we do that? By paying attention. The same way. When we get triggered in our life, there's a rock. When we get triggered, oh, there's a weed. God is trying to clean out our hearts by giving us circumstances, because we live in a reflective reality, a mirroring reality, where as we think, so our reality will be. And so if we're constantly thinking, I'm not good enough, guess what? You're going to have demotions at work. You're going to have being fired. And every time you're going to get triggered and you're going to go into shame and depression, and it's going to create more of a story, when the reality is it's not who you are at all. And it's actually resisting that false program of who you've thought you've been your whole life, so that you can bring your awareness to it, and you get fired and you go, okay, how am I feeling? Oh my God, I'm feeling not good enough again. And you begin to see that pattern and program, because you're a divine being of love and light, and you begin to say, okay, fear of the future, I see you. You're allowed in my body. Shame and unworthiness, I see you. You're allowed in my body. I love you. Because you begin to embody not the old program, but your union with Christ, your union with the divine, you as a divine being of love and light, and you can begin to dissolve the old patterns and programs. You can rip out those weeds. You can rip out those rocks. This is the reality of hammering our swords into plowshares. You've been fighting against your programming for so long, trying to outwork not being good enough, okay? Trying to feel beautiful because you were told you were ugly. Trying to make things happen in your life apart from the divine flow and ease of life, because you had a past programming from some situation that created a trauma loop that you've always been trying to run from, always been numbing out from, always been trying to overcome, okay? And so this is the reality. This is the essence of what's happening. And you've always been fighting against it, taking the sword, quoting it, fighting against demons, fighting against devils, fighting against other people. The key is acceptance here. We have to accept the reality, because acceptance vibrationally, quantumly, is a much higher state of emotion, a much higher vibration than the warring, fighting the fear, than the anger to overcome something, than the numbing out from the shame, okay? So we need to overcome these things through acceptance. And then once we're at acceptance, we can love them. We can begin to love ourselves. Because try to go from fear straight to love. Impossible. You can't go from 0 to 100. Very, very challenging unless you come into the presence of someone who's already holding a space of that high vibration of love, and then it can happen. So it's not impossible, but it's very hard to do on your own. And so on your own, because not everyone has somebody around them that can begin to help cultivate with them, begin to accept yourself, begin to accept these old patterns and programs, okay? And so this is why Jesus said, you know, he began, it sounded like he was preaching thought crimes or the law on steroids. He's like, you've heard it said, don't commit adultery. Don't commit adultery, right? But I say to you that even if you lust after someone in your heart, you've already committed adultery. Why? Because if you go and do the act, that's the cause. The effect you're going to have, you know, maybe there's going to be problems. There's obviously going to be massive problems in the family. You could have a kid, whatever it is, right? But if you're thinking that way, guess what's going to happen? There's going to be situations in your life, even though you're not doing it, you're going to start to sow seeds of adultery, of unfaithfulness in your heart and in your mind. And then down the road, there's going to be opportunities for that type of thing to manifest in your human experience, because that's what you've been honoring. God set this world up so that whatever we're holding in our heart, the things that we think and the things that we feel, the circumstances will come back to honor that which we've been planting. And it doesn't matter, the darkness is light to him. You're saying, oh, God is going to give us bad circumstances. Well, the reality is those circumstances are actually designed to bring us to the end of ourselves through pain, through suffering, through junk. And that's the job of Satan. Satan is this materializing bonding principle that is actually bonding material circumstances to your energetic thoughts and feelings, right? Just like in Job's life. Look at my servant Job. Have you considered him? God is personified in that. Satan is a principle that is personified in that. Okay? It is just the nature of reality that Job was reaping what he was sowing in his heart. On the outside, he thought he had everything together, but he said, my worst fears have come upon me. Okay? So in his heart, he was praying and fasting and saying prayers just in case his family had sinned. He was actually deeply rooted in fear. And that fear trauma vibration went out into the quantum field, and Satan, the materializing bonding principle, bonded back material situations and circumstances in his life where all of that fear came upon him, and he had to go through the dark night of the soul. He had to lose his family, lose his wealth, lose who he was, lose his health, everything like that, okay? And so this is how important this is. This isn't just some nice spiritual talk and let's have a nice sermon. Hell yeah, hallelujah, brother. No. This is the nature of reality. This is the nature of reality from the highest level of understanding that we currently have on the planet. And Jesus knew about this 2,000 years ago. Okay, so right now we are learning to live and take responsibility of the things that we're thinking and the things that we're feeling, because you're creating your reality. Okay, God is not mocked. You are reaping what you're sowing. Out of your heart, you are reaping all of the issues of life because of what you're thinking and feeling, because what you think and feel, you're actually honoring. You're actually elevating. Even if it's something that you don't prefer because of the past programming, that's why we have to heal all the rocks and the wounds and the seeds, or the weeds. So here's the really cool thing about the parable of the sower that's amazing. We've established that the thoughts and the feelings are the seeds. Okay? So whether we're planting seeds of fear or seeds of love, that's what we're going to reap in our human experience. Okay? We're planting those seeds. A corn seed makes a corn plant with ears of corn. You plant an apple seed, it's going to produce an apple tree. You're going to get the same fruit from it. That's what this means. That when you plant a seed of fear and you hold fear in your heart, oh my God, what's going to happen in the future? Guess what's going to happen? Circumstances that continue to perpetuate that vibration so that you can continue in that way until you look in your heart and go, okay, fear, I see you, I love you. And you use the high vibration of love to cast that fear out. Okay? So it's all about a cleanup. It's all about a heart cleanup and growth process. So your thoughts and your feelings are the seeds. Guess what? Your heart is the soil. Okay? So you are the seeds, you are the soil, and guess what? You're also the sower. You're the farmer sowing the seeds. You get to choose the things that you're thinking, the things that you're feeling, and you get to choose what you honor and hold in your heart. You get to choose if you want to continue to fight with the sword and try to cut out the weeds and the rocks and the circumstances of life that'll always grow back, or you can go to the root with the plowshare and begin to pull these things out. And if you need help with that, I would love to be able to help you on your journey with that. And I can give you a coaching session if you reach out to me and private message me through Facebook or email me at divinelightcoaching111@gmail.com. divinelightcoaching111@gmail.com. Okay, so you are the farmer who's sowing the seeds. You are the seeds themselves, and you are the soil that the seeds are being grown in. Okay, and so this is how important it is, because literally all of the issues of life are happening and coming forth from this place. All right, so this is very, very important to understand in life, man. It is very important. I don't think there's anything more important to understand this new quantum reality, that it's not just about our behaviors, changing and trying to clean ourselves up on the outside.